Chapter 12.3 covers surface areas of pyramids and cones. In this chapter, we'll be looking at regular pyramids. In a regular pyramid, the altitude goes from the vertex to the base, perpendicular to the base, and it will strike the middle of the base. The vertex to the edge of the base, going down the side of the pyramid, is called the slant height, and we will use the script letter L to stand for slant height. To calculate the lateral area of a regular pyramid, we're going to add the area of each of the triangles as we go along. The area formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So if we add each of these bases as we go along, that would be the perimeter. The height is the same for each of the triangles. So the formula for the lateral area would be 1/2 perimeter times the slant height. In the next diagram, we're given that there is a square base. So to calculate the perimeter, there's 4 sides to the base, and each of the sides are 2.5 centimeters long. So the perimeter of the base would be 10 centimeters. We also need the slant height. The slant height is 5 centimeters. So the lateral area is 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height, which is 1/2 times 10 times 5. So the lateral area would be 25 centimeters squared. In the next problem, we're asked again to find the lateral area of the square pyramid. To find the perimeter, we have 4 sides to the base. Each of the sides are 4 inches long, so our perimeter would be 16 inches. The slant height is 8 inches. The lateral area would be 1/2 times 16 times 8, which would be 64 inches squared. To find the surface area, we would add the lateral area plus 1 base, because a pyramid only has 1 base. We're asked to find the surface area of the square pyramid to the nearest tenth. The perimeter has, the base has 4 sides, so to find the perimeter, it would be 4 sides. Each of the sides are 8 meters in length. So the perimeter would be 4 times 8, which is 32. We need to find the slant height. We have the altitude that goes perpendicular with the base. Along the base, from where the altitude hits to the side, is half the side. So we have a triangle, a right triangle. The altitude is 6. Half the base would be 4, and we need to find the slant height. So L squared equals 4 squared plus 6 squared. So the slant height would equal plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 36, which would be plus or minus rad 52. So rad 52 is our slant height. So the lateral area would be 1/2 times 32 times rad 52, which would give us 16 rad 52. We want to leave this as an exact answer because we're going to plug it into the formula for surface area. We also need the area of the base. The base is a square, so it's base times height, which is 8 times 8, which is 64. Surface area is lateral area plus the base. So 16 rad 52 plus 64, which would give us an answer of approximately 179.4 meters squared. This would be the exact answer, and this would be the approximate answer. Again, we're asked to find the surface area of the square pyramid to the nearest tenth. The base is a square, so the perimeter would be 4 times 6. 6 is the length of a side of the base. So that would be 24 centimeters. We need to find the slant height. Again, we have a right triangle. The altitude is 8. Half the side length is 3. And we want to find the slant height. So L equals plus or minus the square root of 8 squared plus 3 squared, which should give us plus or minus rad 73. So the slant height is rad 73 centimeters. The lateral area would be 1/2 times 24 times rad 73, which would give us 12 rad 73 centimeters. Well, this has two different, I just noticed that two different, it has inches and then has centimeters here. This should be inches. So this is inches, this is inches, this would be inches squared. We need to find the area of the base, which would be 6 times 6, which is 36 inches squared. Surface area is the lateral area, 12 rad 73, plus the area of one base, which is 36, which gives us an answer of 138.53. So that would be 138.5 inches squared. We're asked to find the surface area of this regular pyramid, and this regular pyramid has a base that has 6 sides. So the perimeter would be 6 sides. Each of the sides has length 10.4 centimeters. So we would have a perimeter of 62.4 centimeters. We're given the slant height is 15 centimeters. The lateral area would be 1/2 times 62.4 times 15, which would give us a value of the lateral area being 468 centimeters squared. Now we need to find the area of the base. The base is a polygon with 6 sides, and we need to remember what the formula was for a 6-sided figure, or anything that was over 4 sides. That's 1/2 times the apothem times the length of the side times the number of sides. And we learned that in chapter 11. If I go from the center of the polygon down to these 2 angles here, I can divide this polygon into 6 equal triangles. This would make that angle 60 degrees, which would make each of these base angles also 60 degrees. If I draw the altitude of that triangle, it will cut the base in half and yield a 30, 60, 90 triangle. This would be 30 and this would be 60. The apothem is that altitude that we draw in that triangle. So this line right here is our altitude. Cutting the base in half, and the base is 10.4 centimeters, would give us 5.2 centimeters for this length, which would make this 5.2 rad 3, and that's our apothem. So that would be 1/2 times 5.2 rad 3 which is our apothem, times the length of the side of the base, which is 10.4, and the number of sides is 6. That would give us a value of 162.24 rad 3 centimeters squared for the area of the base. The surface area is the lateral area, which is 468, plus there's one base, plus 162.34 rad 3. That would be the exact answer. The approximate answer would be 749.0 centimeters squared. We're asked to find the surface area of the regular pyramid. This regular pyramid has a base that has 6 sides. So the perimeter is 6 sides times the length of each of the sides, which would give us 36 inches squared. The slant height is 9 inches. Now we have that the lateral area equals 1/2 times 36 times 9, which gives us a lateral area of 162 inches squared. This should not be squared up here, it should be just inches. We need to calculate the area of the base, which we know that the formula for the area of the base is 1/2 ASN. 1/2 times the apothem times the length of the side times the number of sides. We have a 6-sided figure again, which means that we would have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. This base here being 60, this being 30 degrees. This line right here is the apothem. Half the base would be 3 inches. So the apothem would be 3 rad 3. So it's 1/2 times 3 rad 3 times 6, which is the length of the side, times the number of sides, which would give us a base of 54 rad 3. Surface area would be the lateral area, 162, plus area of one base, which is 54 rad 3. This would be the exact answer. The approximate answer would be 255.5 inches squared. That concludes part 1 of chapter 12.3, and part 2 will cover cones.